Sometimes I just step back and I think how crazy and how fast life moves. I remember pre-ordering my original Xbox 6 months early, getting it, and then playing Halo Combat Evolved all night. Halo is one of my favorite video game franchises of all time. Even though I kind of stepped away from the series after Halo 4, there's still a lot of fun to be had with it through the Master Chief Collection and Halo Infinite. But Microsoft has quietly been working behind the scenes over the last couple years to cook up a huge revival for the franchise. And today, my friends, we go over everything you may or may not know about the upcoming 7th Halo game. Welcome to the channel, everybody. Jimmy or Chaos. We're going to be talking about the leaks, the rumors, the official reports, the inside reports, you name it. We're going to cover it. You let me know in the comments what you think about the future of Halo. Drop a like on the video and let's get started. So in case you missed it, Microsoft has confirmed not too long ago they're changing up their formula. Again, changing it up how they handle the development of Halo games. 343 Industries took over the franchise in the early 2010s, but there's no denying that there was a lot of, well, there was a serious drop-off in quality, let's be honest with each other, and popularity since that happened. Now, I'm not saying 343's Halo games were all bad, because obviously they had plenty of fans, but the Bungie Halo games, come on, they were huge. Nothing in the franchise has even come close to them since Halo Reach back in 2010. So Microsoft knows something isn't working, and so, not too long ago, they confirmed. They have changed up the leadership at 343 Industries and renamed the company to Halo Studios to indicate a change in direction and a fresh start. Does a name mean anything other than that? No, it doesn't. But it solidifies and it recognizes that we have to do something different. They also confirmed that future games will be built on the Unreal Engine as opposed to 343's in-house Slipspace engine, which I think is a good move. There's a lot of technical issues with the Unreal Engine right now, but there's way more technical issues with Slipspace, as I'm sure many of you Halo fans are aware of. So moving development to a more straightforward and polished engine, I think it's going to be smoother. It's going to allow the team to focus more on their creative vision as opposed to constantly fixing bugs and glitches. So, as a way to hype people up for this shift in direction and focus, Microsoft and Halo Studios, I like the way that sounds, released a brief teaser video showing Master Chief in his classic Halo 1 armor created in the Unreal Engine 5, along with a ton of landscapes and environments built in the new engine. It looked like they were ripped straight out of Halo Combat Evolved. Now, this was seemingly meant to be a way to get you and me excited about the future of the series, and to indicate to everyone that Halo Studios is dedicated to reviving the feelings of classic Halo as opposed to moving further and further away from the original game's design. But it also seemed to add some weight to rumors that have been floating around about a remake of Combat Evolved. So for about a year now, gaming insiders have been claiming that Microsoft is working on a full-fledged top-to-bottom remake of Combat Evolved, and with the Halo Studios teaser showing off so many classic Halo 1 environments and models in the Unreal Engine 5, I think it adds validity to those claims. I really do. After all, the team wouldn't be working so hard to make these models and environments if they weren't going to do anything with them, right? Combat Evolved did have a remaster for its anniversary back in the early 2010s, but that version had pretty split reception due to its changes in art style, while this new trailer seems to be showing off a return to the original art style, but updated with modern graphics and insane attention to detail. So, if Halo Studios is actually just remaking Combat Evolved with this philosophy, that could be a great way to bring people back to the franchise, even possibly appeal to new audiences. After all, Microsoft has been slowly putting their first-party games on the PlayStation, and there are several rumors floating around that the Master Chief Collection is going to the PS5 next year, which I wouldn't be shocked at all if this rumored Combat Evolved remake ends up releasing on the Xbox, the PC, and the PlayStation, which is just awesome. But there's also another rumor floating around about the Combat Evolved remake that's claiming the remake isn't actually a remake at all. According to a couple insider sources, the rumored Combat Evolved remake is actually going to be a Combat Evolved spin-off built in Unreal Engine 5, meaning it takes place around the same time as CE, and it stars Master Chief, and it features the original CE art style. But you'll have a brand new story we've never seen before. Frankly, I think this is interesting, because if you read the Halo novels and comic books, you know there is a lot going on in the Halo universe around the time of Combat Evolved's campaign. So the original CE would still be canon, but Halo 7 will actually be more like Halo 1.5 or maybe even Halo 0.5, depending on when it exactly takes place compared to the events of Combat Evolved. I don't not like this idea. Frankly, I guess I'm kind of on the fence with the theory. On one hand, I think remaking Combat Evolved would be a great way to bring in old and new players alike, but then on the other side, seems maybe a little strange for Microsoft to put so much time and money into a remake of Combat Evolved when the game is already available on the Master Chief Collection. Why would they put so much work into an updated version of a game that everyone already has experienced? I mean, the most popular Halo game on the market, right? It would look a lot better, but it wouldn't exactly be a kind of thing people would rush out to play. I think it would have hype and then it would die quickly. But if a new game is a side story to CE, that would be a great way to bring back people who already played Combat Evolved, and it would be a nice way to bring in new players, especially on the PlayStation, and you're bringing them in on the original story. I mean, if PS5 players try Combat Evolved through the Master Chief Collection, that could get them interested in the new game that takes a place right alongside it, or vice versa. If PS5 players try the new Halo game and they like it, that could be the motivating factor to get them to buy the Master Chief Collection to play the original Combat Evolved. But you're not going to have to wait until Halo 7 to play as Master Chief again. You're not, because according to several insiders, Microsoft has plans to make Chief a playable operator in Black Ops 6 and Warzone. Woo! I know. Could be a huge deal if it ends up being true. Call of Duty has been getting a lot of mileage out of character skins for COD, and now that Microsoft is in charge of the franchise, makes total sense that other Microsoft shooter franchises will cross over. I mean, Microsoft already signed off on a Master Chief skin for Fortnite, so it stands to reason they would do the same for COD, especially since they own both franchises. I'm also expecting the Call of Duty skins to be some unique weapon blueprints attached to them, make Black Ops 6 guns look and sound more like Halo. Why not, right? Go for it. Who cares? But what if there's a skin for the XM4 that makes it sound like the classic Combat Evolved assault rifle? Maybe a skin for one of the handguns that makes it like the iconic CE pistol. Microsoft will make bank off of that. I think a crossover between Halo and COD is probably inevitable at this point. Now, all of this kind of throws the future of Halo Infinite into question, because when the game was announced, 343 and Microsoft said they were committed to supporting it for 10 years. Obviously, that's not going to happen because the game didn't perform nearly as well as they thought it would. Even though Infinite was a fun game with some great ideas, there was just an unforgivable lack of content at launch, along with a ton of issues with the progression system that ended up pushing away people from despite it having good gameplay. The core was good. A lot of people just went back to the Master Chief Collection. And with Microsoft announcing the new project at Halo Studios, to me, seems all but confirmed at this point that Halo Infinite will be shut down in the next year or two. So last year, 343 confirmed they were ditching the seasonal content drops for Infinite with something much less frequent, but I think we all know that the game as a whole is about to be canned. Microsoft is going full steam ahead with the new project, whatever it may be, and Halo Infinite, honestly, it's just not a priority anymore. But where is the franchise going? Halo Infinite left the story in a bit of a weird place. Definitely felt like there was a plan to keep it going, but if people aren't interested, are they going to push forward? I don't think so. I think the evidence for that can be found in one of their other franchises. Gears of War used to be a Microsoft juggernaut right alongside Halo, but after the sequels Gear 4 and 5 pushed the story into this weird place that a lot of longtime fans didn't like, Microsoft elected to go back to the basics. The upcoming Gears of War E-Day, a prequel to the original game featuring the return of the original game's tone and style and characters. Sound familiar? I think Microsoft is putting the mechanical future of Halo on hold until they get things back on track, and what better way to do that than bring the series back to its roots. Bring back the old school game featuring the return of Combat Evolved tones, the art style, all of it. Now, I'm on the fence about whether the new game is going to be a full remake of Combat Evolved or a side story, but I think judging by the Halo Studios trailer, as well as the way Microsoft is handling the revival of Gears of War, we can safely assume whatever Halo 7 ends up being or called, and where it's exactly set in the timeline, it's going to feature the art style and the tone of Combat Evolved. Microsoft needs to bring people back to the franchise. The most effective way to do that is to remind people why they were invested in the first place. Seems to be working for Gears. I mean, the hype for Gears E-Day is out there. I'm excited. It's more hype than that franchise has seen in a long time, and that's certainly going to have an impact on what they decide to do with Halo moving forward. So give me your best thoughts, opinions on what you think Halo 7 will be. I'm leaning toward the side story that goes alongside with Combat Evolved. I think that would be super interesting, and it would be a great way to get a new audience in there at the very beginning. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll keep you covered.